First, let me say that both of us are very happy to see not just this exercise, but how the series of exercise that, as Geraldine has mentioned, how it has grown and evolved year to year. Now it's not just this one particular exercise in the whole year. Actually, in the whole year, there's a whole series of exercises that starts from the very highest level at a national command post all the way down to what we call the tactical level, down to the respective institution. Now, this exercise, I think we have reached a new milestone. This is the first time where all the 11 critical infrastructure sectors are all participating. So we have reached a new level of participation. But regardless of the level of exercise and scale of the exercises, actually we always try to achieve three things in all these exercises. The first is vigilance, second is unity of action, the third is resilience. Let me explain what that is. So as the question was asked, how do we maintain vigilance? Vigilance means that we must keep everyone updated on the latest threats. And as you have mentioned, there are all kinds of threats that are being thrown at us every day. And when we look at the threat, we analyze the threat, we want to make sure that all our agencies involved in this work, they are up to date with the kind of threats that we are facing. So it's not just during the exercise. Beyond the exercise, on a day-to-day basis, there's a network where they all come together and share the latest threats that we are facing so that everyone can be up to scratch. Now, the second thing is, of course, the unity of action. And why is this particularly important for the cyber front? There is no clear line as to this is yours and this is mine when it comes to defense in the cyber front. Actually, all of us are connected in the network. And the strength of the network is actually dependent on what we call the weakest link. So if there's one compromise in any part of the network, actually it compromises the entire network, which is why having all the various agencies coming together is so important. Because when we need to take defensive actions against any threat, actually everyone has to do that same thing at the same time in order for us to be more secure. And it's not just about using the different techniques to counter the threats. It's also about building the relationship, the understanding the common procedures that we need to work together so that we can defend as one country. And that is why in this particular exercise, you see not just the military, but you also see the civilian agencies, you see government agencies, you also see private sectors. And in order for everyone to come together to establish that common understanding is very important for us all. So that is the unity of action part. Now, having said that, we are also realistic that given the nature of the threats, it's very difficult for us to say that our systems will never be compromised. The more important question is, if ever our system is compromised, how do we respond as one and how do we recover from this? And that is where the resilience comes in. So again, learning from the lessons from the recent threats that we have encountered, it's important for us to share this information with everyone, exercise them so that we level up everyone's competency so that we can bounce back from any setback as soon as we can. So this series of exercises is to make sure that we enhance our vigilance, our unity of action, and our resilience. And I'm very happy to see that now, compared to the past where we have episodic exercises, now we have actually regular exercises at different levels with different agencies, and we'll continue to expand the exercises to the participants that need to come in. We will also make sure that every year the scenarios are different. In fact, actually for this particular sector, even if we conduct an exercise every week, I'm quite sure the scenarios will be quite different in different weeks and different months. Maybe I'd invite Winjo to say something.
Sure. You want me to come over here? Well, maybe to pick up where Minister Chun left off on how we deal with information about threats. At the Singapore International Cyber Week, we had talked about sharing threat intelligence with the owners of critical information infrastructure. And the reason we do so is because they are the target of attacks by the advanced persistent threat actors who will stop at nothing in order to weaken our digital infrastructure, to either steal data or to position themselves to disrupt services. And by sharing this threat intelligence, what we would like the CII owners to do is to have a clear-eyed view of what they're up against and to take the necessary action to better protect Singaporeans. Now, at the same time, CSA will also be updating our cybersecurity code of practice. The last time we did so was in 2022. It's been about 3 years, and the threat landscape has changed considerably. So as part of the updated code of practice, We will want to see two new requirements being implemented. The first is enhanced oversight and responsibility over critical information infrastructure as well as the adjacent systems. We want the boards of these organizations to exercise enhanced supervision over these areas. Another very important area is that we believe even the boards of these organizations need to go through cybersecurity training. And more importantly, they need to provide direct access to the Chief Information Security Officers to provide the requisite resources as well as the backup in order to protect and defend their systems. We expect that the work to update the Cybersecurity Code of Practice to be completed in the first quarter of 2026. It will then be put out and we will share more information then. But to sum up, I think when it comes to cybersecurity, we need to hunt as a pack to identify where our weaknesses and vulnerabilities are, but we also need to defend as a team. And that's what Cidex is really all about. Thank you.